The Millennium, a prophetic forecast by Johanna Brandt. This little book on divine revelation, containing a cosmic message proclaiming the second coming of the Christ, is only a small part of the worldwide movement of preparation, which, unheeded by the seething multitudes, is slowly spreading over the length and breadth of the earth. Amid the clash of arms, the profound hush of expectation can be sensed by the spiritually quickened perceptions. The men in the trenches, daily facing death, have found a something hitherto unknown to them, intangible, undefinable, and yet more real than life itself, which can never again be taken from them, while the woman, watching, working, waiting, praying, keep pace with them in the wondrous revival of mystic experience. The age of miracles has returned. Those of my readers who are familiar with the book, which I published 5 years ago, The Petticoat Commando, or A Boer Woman in Secret Service, will need no introduction to the scene in which the events described in the second part of this little book took place. Little did I think when I wrote The Petticoat Commando that the passing away of its heroine, Mrs. van Wormelo, would witness the awakening of mystic knowledge, and that her death would bring new life to thousands in South Africa. She has not lived in vain. The land and people she loved to the edge of death by will, when nothing else was left in her exhausted frame, will bless her memory. For the world message contained in this book could not have been brought except at the cost of her life. She sleeps in South African soil, and we who remain shall surely see that soil trod by holy feet. Wrapped in so much mystery, so vast in its obscurity, the subject in all ages of so much speculation, why have I called this little book The Millennium? Because it was revealed to me when my mother passed away that the book which I was instructed to write would be translated in every language under the sun and would reach every corner of the globe. I therefore chose a title which would remain the same in every language, in order to avoid confusion with other works on the same subject. For as those of my readers who are familiar with the world of religion are aware, the word millennium, derived from the Latin mille, thousand, and annum, year, is the only word which expresses the same thing in every civilized language on earth. The 1,000 years reign of peace, or, as it is also called, the first death, the first resurrection, the second advent, or the second coming of Jesus Christ. I have written this book in Dutch, English, and Afrikaans, under the same title. The Dutch edition will be published in Holland, and will, owing to war restrictions, not be procurable in South Africa before the end of this year. But the English and Afrikaans are being printed in South Africa and will be published in June. There will also be a special edition in America for Great Britain, North and South America, India, Australia, and Canada, while translations in German, French, and Russian will appear in Europe during the course of the current year. In addition to these publications, I have written The Millennium in English in pamphlet form for the use of missionaries, householders, and employers of native and coloured labour. This pamphlet has now been translated into Xhosa, Sesotho, and Zulu under the same title, The Millennium. The public is earnestly invited to cooperate in making the message known as quickly as possible, especially to the native and coloured races of this country. For the adversary, ever seeking to destroy the kingdom of righteousness, has partially succeeded in delaying this message beyond the given time. Reader, the future of South Africa depends on your faithfulness in this matter, now. The writer, Johannesburg, March 1918.